Hello, everybody, and welcome into another season preview show here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthew Zator, and as always for the Minnesota Wild, I got Mariah Stark here. Mariah, how's it going? We've got, as we're recording this, it's about a month or so away from the season starting. The summer's been slow. Since July, really hasn't much happened in the NHL. I'm assuming there's stuff that's going to happen before the season starts. But how's it going?
Well, for me, the summer has been moving in terms of hockey slow, but everything else fast, trying to fit in time with everybody before I just, as Christy said on her Twitter or Instagram, disappear for hockey season because you don't see much of us. But I was feeling off the last couple of weeks and I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm like, why do I just not feel as, upbeat? Then I realized, probably because I haven't been in the hockey rink since May.
Yeah.
That does it. But what's been helping, Nickelback, I have to say this, Nickelback has a new album coming out and I've heard 2 of their songs, so that's keeping me going till hockey season.
There we go. All right, well, let's jump in and talk about the Wild. I mean, of course, I had a pretty good season last year. Of course, made the playoffs. The biggest discourse for the offseason has been around Quinn Hughes. And this would have happened in Vancouver as well. Will he resign? When will he resign? He does have a year left on his contract, but he's going to be an unrestricted free agent this time next summer. That's if he gets there. And there's been talk that the Wild have been talking to him and he wants to resign, and just depending on the term. And a lot have been talking about the term being that he wants to go with Jack Hughes somewhere. I mean, whatever. That's a huge discussion. We won't talk too much about it on this show, but let's start with the forward group, which saw a few additions. The biggest one being a trade with the Calgary Flames, getting Blake Coleman and Ole Mata. Mata's a defenseman. Won't talk about him here, but Blake Coleman, what do you think about him being added to the forward group? I mean, so far, this is only a new addition. There's been talk around Dylan Larkin and stuff like that, but he is the only one right now.
The amount of drama surrounding the Minnesota Wild this summer, I will tell you, I was done with it about week 2. That's all I'll say for that. But I was actually kind of taken off guard when all of a sudden Middleton is gone and we get Coleman and Mata and those 2, and then Middleton went with draft picks. It's been so long since I even remember this. Like, I don't even remember. All of a sudden I saw my phone and I'm like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I remember Coleman because, again, another Christy reference. She's the one who brought him up a few years back. Yeah. And I remember her talking about him all the time. I'm excited. He's when I don't know if I was able to get on the live Zoom with Guerin when he was talking about bringing Coleman in, but I watched the replay, and the big thing was the penalty killing. And that's an area the Wild, let's put it honestly, sucked at this season. Like, they would get ahead and then they'd have a penalty kill and it would be gone. So if Coleman can help with that, that's going to be huge. And I don't even, like, if he takes it over from Faber, like something, I don't even care. Like, just fix it.
Yeah.
And he's got, and the biggest thing too, Guerin said even before the penalty kill, he's got experience. He's got winning experience. And I mean, the Wild have some of that. My mind is blanking right now, but they have some. But the more you can add, the better it is. Especially when they can, like, that locker room is so. I'm sure a lot of people feel this way about their teams, but seeing it in person, this locker room is a really tight knit group, and Guerin's very careful about who he adds to that group because, in the past, every team's had it. In the past, there's always 1 or 2 players that either run the room or whatever, and things either don't work out or do. And the Wild seem to have it going really well right now. Even adding like Quinn Hughes and all that, like they're meshing together well. Nobody seems to have animosity towards each other or anything. So I think that's going to be another good thing. He'll blend into that room, especially after they lost. Let's see. I have it written down. Zuccarello, Johansson, Middleton was defense, but Tarasenko, and Zuccarello. Those guys are all kind of on the back half of their careers. I want to say the older. So there's a lot of veteran experience there that you're losing. Age-wise, it's, in terms of skill, I'm trying to be nice about it.
Yeah.
They're probably downward trending more than likely.
Yeah.
But adding Coleman, he's a bit younger. I think is he 31? 32? I can't remember how old he is. He's a little bit younger than the other guys that he's replacing. So it's going to be nice to have that experience and things that they can add in.
Yeah, he's 34. So I mean,
okay, yeah, I was making him younger.
I thought he was younger too. But yeah, he scored 20 goals last season. So I mean, he's still a guy that can put up those types of numbers. I don't know if he'll hit 30 again when he had that career season back in 23-24. But he's capable. He's got double-digit goals in all of his seasons except for the one where he only played 9 games. So I mean, and 23 games in his rookie season. But yeah, he's a consistent guy that'll put up good numbers. And the thing is, like you mentioned, the penalty killing is going to be big. And he's always been a great penalty killer. And part of that great checking line in Tampa Bay way back when. So I mean, that's a guy that can definitely bolster your, I'd say probably middle 6, right? So
yeah.
That's definitely going to help the Wild. And those guys being lost, like Zuccarello was a huge piece of the team for years and years. They'll probably miss him for sure, right? And
Kirill will.
Yeah, definitely. Like he was always playing with them too. So
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the four. I mean, I don't know if they're going to acquire a second line center. That's been a thing we've talked about in every season preview. They don't have really any.
They don't have a first line
or a first line center. That's. I mean, if Dylan Larkin was acquired, he'd be the first line center. So I mean that's been something we've talked about in every preview show. Will they acquire an actual legitimate first line center? We'll see. And that's something that they might do. I don't know. We'll see with that. All right, big storylines. It's probably one of the bigger ones going in. Now, what do you think are a big storyline, burning questions for the forwards going in here?
Who's going to play on the other side of Kirill?
Yeah.
I actually have that in an article I'm currently working on. But I talk a little bit about it. I won't go too far into it, but obviously, Boldy is a good wing partner for almost anybody. Mm-hmm. But as I've mentioned to a few people, I even talked to my dad about this. You don't want to overload your top line and not have anybody in the – and Boldy works really well. The second line last year was really strong with Eriksson Ek and JoJo, and JoJo's gone now. So that's another – but they've got some guys they can move up to fill that spot. It's just who's going to fit in that top spot. I'm going to butcher his name, and I'm sorry if I do, but they also picked up Shabanov.
Yeah.
If that's how you say it.
That's how I would say it.
And there was some talk of people, especially because he's Russian, that he could bump up to that top line once he gets more comfortable. And I watched some of his highlight videos and stuff, and I think he could work pretty well with Kirill. It's just getting him adjusted. And I don't know if you want to just throw someone on that top line right away, which, I mean, if you're not sure who you're going to put there, you might as well try and see what happens, because that's kind of how Zuccarello and Kaprizov got together. It's just kind of, they never played together, so they just threw them, and it became one of the best pairs in the NHL. So, so I mean, they're gonna have to find somebody for Boldy too. But it's the pieces they lost. It doesn't seem like it's not big name guy, like they're named, but they're not big name. But then you realize how much depth they actually provided, and it's like, man, they do have some holes they gotta fill.
Yeah, it's true. Like Zuccarello was such a big part of the team, and Johansson was a good complementary piece, like you mentioned with that line there. So Shabanov, I mean, he's 25 years old. He's still a guy that I think maybe the Islanders thought he was going to be part of that when they signed him. But he didn't end up doing a ton. He only had 5 goals last season. So I maybe didn't really fit in. I mean, he never played a lot. I mean, he was in that 12, 13 minute range. But yeah, I think he could maybe fit, like you say, with Kaprizov, and they've had success with Russian players. So.
I know Garen, listening to him on that, he actually had tried to sign Shabanov a while ago. I think when he was first leaving Russia to come to the end, I think Guerin had mentioned he wanted to, like, they're excited. They've been watching this guy for a while. And like you said, and some players, they just play better together. Like Kirill and Yurov have done well together. Even Trenyan has done well. And his first season was pretty rough, but then he came in ready to go, focused, and it was like a new player. And they made the Russian line of Trenyan, Yurov, and Tarasenko.
Yeah.
And for the Wild, it's Russian guys. Like ever since they brought in Kirill, they've had luck with him. So hopefully he can be another piece that, hey, they can have him for a while.
Yeah. They say he's that good age too, right? So, and Trennan, what, he lead the NHL in hits by a crazy amount too. So
it was, when I did my report cards, I almost like dropped my laptop because you see it you're just used to him hitting. You don't even like, it was a lot, but it's like, you don't realize it's like second place was like 200 hits, but I'm like, what?
He's like Kiefer Sherwood that one season.
Like you just hitting everything that moves.
Yeah. So I think he could end up being Shabanov could end up being maybe a little bit underrated addition, for this group too. All right, defense. Not really any big additions. Oli Mata in that trade has been added. They've got a great blue line. I mean, they did lose Jake Middleton, who was a really good guy on that unit too. So. The new addition, Mata, what is he going to bring?
So I don't know as much about him. I had to do a little research because I recognized the name, but I couldn't place it. And I remembered when he was with Pittsburgh, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And he kind of and I'm going to keep referencing Guerin because I listened to all of his, like why he wanted to bring them in.
Yeah.
Because Middleton, I always thought they were going to keep Middleton. And I know, everybody, before you come at me, yes, he had a terrible postseason last year. I know he did. I was upset with him. Like, what are you doing? You're usually a lot more solid. I don't know what happened. Yeah. And he's a really cool guy. They're going to really miss him, especially that voice in the locker. Because this guy, Tarpsoff, had no filter. Like, he just said what came to mind. And there were times where we're like, we can't print that. But he was great. He was a great character. So they're going to miss that. But I understand he's excited to go to Calgary. And this could be a good move for Mata and Coleman to have a new, fresh. I don't know how. I thought Coleman did pretty decent in Calgary, but Mata kind of bouncing around. Eventually you do find that spot that you fit in, and he's got a good core around him. And yes, Quinn Hughes, I'm going to get this out now. Quinn Hughes, again, I was tired of it. I didn't want to hear any more of it. Devils and Wild fans have literally been ripping each other apart all off season, and I almost had to turn off my Twitter because I'm like, I just can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of it was fun, whatever, but it's like, okay, guys, he's going to sign where he's going to sign. Just accept it. Personally, to me, I'm not worried. Kirill signed the day before training camp or the day before whatever it was. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we got him. And the Wild were the same way. They're like, oh yeah, we're not worried. Like, you take different things out of context to what Guerin says and but it's like, they're not going to tell you the logistics going on behind the scenes. He could already be signed and it's like, oh, we're going to announce it, whatever.
Yeah.
And let the players enjoy their off season, and he's gonna hang out with his brothers because he probably barely sees them during the hockey season, so it makes sense. And maybe he is considering going. I don't know, but to me, I still think he signs here. I think he signs the 3-year deal that everyone's been saying. I think I saw around 18, 20 mil is what everyone's thinking. I know no secrets right now, so but and then he'll align with Jack, and they can decide where they want to go together, and if that's out of New Jersey and Minnesota, then they go somewhere else and pave a new path. They're free to do what they want. And originally, yes, I did worry a little bit because Quinn has been phenomenal here. Like Matt, you and I talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, I knew who Quinn Hughes was. I knew he had talent. I didn't realize how much until that first game I watched him, and it's like I couldn't take my eyes off him. And the fact that when he turns, the guy can skate like nobody I've ever seen except maybe Kirill. Kirill's a really good skater too. But watching Quinn, he turns so sharp. the toques of his skates hit the ice, that still baffles me. That's why he falls down. I'm like, I can't even fathom trying to do that on my skates. Like, that's ridiculous. This guy is just crazy. Yeah. But obviously he's a big part. But they also have Brodin, if he stays healthy. That was a big thing with me. Spurgeon's getting close to the end, like they have a solid blue line with Faber and all of those guys. So what happens. Mata's going to fit in where he fits in. I think he's going to do well. I think he's got a good core he can learn from and fit in and adjust whatever way he needs to.
For sure. I mean, and like you say, health is going to be a big thing with this defense. And Spurgeon was relatively healthy last season for the first time, probably in a long time, right? And then, Brodin has his injury issues. These are guys that, yes, you're going to always have that problem. And Mata will add to, he's been really good as more of a complimentary defenseman. He was good in Utah. Then he was traded to Calgary. Played the rest of the season there. But, I mean, I think he's going to be what he's been for the last few seasons. It's just that good. Not really a flashy guy, but he'll be a good penalty killer. He'll be a good puck mover. I think he'll just be the same in Minnesota too. So, and the Hughes thing, I know all about it. This was something that it's like,
I'm so done.
Deja vu. Felt like deja vu. Me, you talking. I've said the same stuff when he was here. It's like he'll sign, he won't sign, whatever.
And what are you gonna do if he doesn't?
What can you do?
You're gonna get what you need for, like. The other thing I didn't say is if he, and everyone's been saying this, I do think if he does not want to sign here, which that's his choice, I do think he lets Guerin know, and will give Guerin the ability to get what he needs to replace Hughes, essentially. Like, he knows Guerin it's not like, and I saw a bunch of people saying he owes, it's like, no, he doesn't owe Guerin anything.
No.
He just shows he's loyal to Guerin in the fact that he will be upfront with him. He's going to be like, hey, I don't intend to sign here, or I intend to sign here. And that'll be it. They'll move on. It's a business. It's what happens.
Yeah, for sure. And that was the same thing here. I mean, he ended up telling Rutherford that he's not going to sign, and then what happened. So I think that's ended up to be the same thing here, and he'll be paid what he gets paid. That's just, and he'll be in the crazy amounts of money, and he's worth it.
Oh God, yes.
So I mean, he'll get paid wherever. It doesn't matter what team he'll go to. He'll get paid what he gets paid, and he's a huge part of the Wild as he's here. How long it will be, we'll see. But that's going to be a big thing we'll be talking about all throughout the season. Hopefully not too much of the season that it sees signs or something happens earlier.
It's just going to all of a sudden be a random middle of the day thing, and it's going to cause chaos.
For sure. All right, goaltending. Now, this is the same tandem coming back. Jesper Wallstedt, Philip Gustafsson. They did add Calvin Pickard as a third goaltender. I don't think Pickard's going to figure in too much. What do you think about this? A trio, I guess, going in here.
Obviously, I love Gus, Bus, and Wally. Those guys, they're a really good tandem. They've worked well together. I know I'm trying to think. The playoffs and stuff, there was a little, I don't know that the animosity was between the goalies. I know people were saying, oh, they're mad at each because Gus didn't, and it's like, well, they're not mad at each other. They know the deal. They support each other. It's what they're both under stress. It's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, nothing between those two. It was just, obviously Gus wants to play, Wally wants to play, and the Wild chose who went, and they both supported each other the way they should.
Yeah.
Pickard might factor into the beginning of the season because I have not heard how Gus did with his hip surgery. Yes, surgery.
Yeah.
I had to fly. I'm pretty sure it was hip. Because supposedly he was going to miss the beginning of the season with recovery time. I haven't seen anything recent on timelines at all. They're keeping it, either they don't know or they're just not saying. I'm sure they know. But from what I had heard, I thought he was supposed to miss at least part of the beginning, and that's why they picked up Pickard, because they wanted him to filling.
Yeah.
And I'm excited after watching Picard's interview when he was picked up. I like him. He seems he's excited to be here. He's excited to have a chance to play with these guys, and he's factored into. He was with Edmonton, and I mean, he's got that experience with those guys. Yeah, they haven't necessarily won a cup yet, but being around McDavid and seeing a guy of that level play all the time and being the goalie, I mean, maybe Gus and Wally can even learn some tips from him. Like they're all. It's not like they're. They learn from each other. It doesn't mean like Gus and Wally are better or Picard's, but it's just they all learn from each other. So it's valuable to have him on the roster, even if he is the third goalie and he doesn't see a lot of time because, Wally's still a young goalie learning, and it's good to have another perspective in that area.
Yeah. I mean, Pickard's used to being the third goalie in Edmonton, so he's just coming in the same type of guy. He'll come up. Play and Gustafson has that. He did have hip surgery, right? So that's something that he might not start the season. They have Pickard as your backup to start, so that's a good thing to have, and probably was signed for that insurance. So we'll see still good goaltending, having Wallsted's a starter and Pickard's a good backup. So.
And talk about someone who is around trade rumors. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's very true as well. All right, moving to the division. Now I've done actually the only previews I've done have been Central Division teams. So far. And this is just such a stacked division up top. And all season it was the Wild, the Stars, the Avalanche. And this season, the Utah Mammoth were good last season. This season, they're going to be a better team. They might factor in to being that third spot. Where do the Wild stack up? Are they still in that third spot? Are they, could they fight for the top? This is going to be a very tough division, I think, once all the teams kind of get to where they are or where they're supposed to be.
So I'm going to go to college for a second here because I think I have an comparison. So I don't know how many of the people that watch this watch college hockey, but where I'm from in Minnesota, the NCHC is the big college division and the NCAA. I know there's I'm going to forget what Boston and them guys are in, the Big East or whatever. The NCHC used to be the WCHA. Well, it kind of combined. WCHA was like the best in college hockey. Like it was just exactly like the Central Division, and the NCHC is the same. These teams are just constantly, they're the most competitive. Like they just can't.
Yeah.
Like you want your team to win. Like I'm a big North Dakota fan. That's where I went to school. So and they compete against Denver, where Booyam is from. They just stack on top of each other, and it's fantastic because it's exciting. It's good hockey to watch, but it's also aggravating because there's no clear
Yeah.
And I mean, in the Central, Colorado clearly was the runaway last year, and they have done that quite a few times. But Dallas and Minnesota, and I feel like these two, the Wild might have finally taken a step forward when it comes to Dallas.
Yeah.
After a very long time of feeling like it was just their two. And I know some North Stars fans, Dallas used to be they're too similar. That was the one. But now Minnesota seems to have kind of gotten over that hump finally, and Dallas is on I want to say the older side maybe a little bit now. I haven't followed too closely on what other teams did this off season because I tried to get away from hockey for a little bit, but I feel like it's going to be similar to last year. The Wild are going to be knocking around that second, third, fourth spot with Dallas, Utah, Winnipeg even.
Yeah.
Because all the times I want to count Winnipeg out, they just come storming back in and irritate me.
They're still a really good team, right?
Yeah. So. And let's be realistic. Every team in this, it's the NHL.
Yeah.
Yes, there are some teams that are going to struggle, but they're still an NHL team. They're still. Yeah. Even Nashville and St. Louis, St. Louis used to be the Dallas to the Wild. Those teams used to just butt heads all the time. I don't know about Nashville and St. Louis this year. They might still be kind of on the odd side out, but I feel like Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, they all still seem the same.
Yeah. They're still really strong teams. This is going to be a tough division to come out of as and they could end up being the wild card teams as well. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Pacific is still one of the weaker divisions, and that's what's it's used to be one of the strongest. And
that division angered me this year, but
so low. It's going to be tough. Central for sure. That's going to be a gauntlet. Yeah. All right, quick fire round, and these are all quick answers here. Biggest storyline going in, and we talked about a few of them already. Storyline question mark. What's the biggest one going into the season?
I feel like the obvious is Quinn Hughes. I'm just gonna say it, but then I feel like their PK. Their power play was good, but the PK's got to be better.
Yeah, I mean that's a big one. They did make the playoffs, but they could have had a lot more points if that penalty kill was better.
They could have been better against Colorado if their penalty kill was better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And the Avalanche didn't have a good power play throughout the season, which very interesting. I'm not sure how that happened, but that's how it was.
It's okay. The Wild made it look good.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry about that.
Breakout stars. Who do you see breaking out this season?
All right. So this may lead into a question you have later, but if he makes the team or makes the roster out of training camp, Hunter Haight and Bobby Brink.
Yeah.
I went with young guys.
Yeah. Hunter Haight is going to be there's another guy. I did not know why he got drafted so low, but whatever. They got him where they did.
And Bobby Brink, I feel like, has a lot of potential if they can get him out there.
Yeah, I agree with that too. All right, bounce back candidates. Who needs to bounce back or who could bounce back?
This might be kind of mean, but I'm going to say Marcus Foligno and Ryan Hartman. They did decently, but realistically, they could be better.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and Nick Foligno is back, right? Too.
Yeah.
So
I forgot to add him in too.
He's not a new addition, I guess, but his first full season with the team, right? But
he's just that depth you need.
Yeah, and of course a veteran presence and a guy that can still bring it offensively at times, but
and hitting,
not as much as he used to be. All right, X factors. This could be players. This could be a situation. It could be the penalty kill again. What's an X factor going in here?
Well, it's a piece of the penalty kill. Blake Coleman.
Yeah, he could definitely. Yeah, we talked about all what he could bring, and could be big X factor for sure. All right, now the Wild they have a pretty good prospect pool still, but is there anyone that could surprise and make the roster out of training camp we're not really expecting at this point?
I don't know if he's expected or not. I haven't heard much about him since he, I believe, signed with the Wild last season, but I'm going to say his name wrong too. Ryger Lorenz.
Yeah.
I can't say his first name. I'm sorry.
Rieger sounds right. That sounds right. I mean, there's a lot of guys that could potentially be, but yeah, I could see him maybe surprising and making the roster. I don't know how many spots are really open.
Yeah,
right. But
I don't know who they're still trying to sign even.
That too, and I mean, there's still the talk about Tarasenko, right?
Yeah, because he hasn't signed with anybody, and it doesn't sound like I don't know if it's him not wanting to come back or if the Wild decided not to bring him back. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet as a free agent, right? Because
personally, I'm fine with them bringing him back if he's willing to come back.
Yeah. I mean, this is away from this question, but he could add to that logjam, right? And
he could
make it tougher for prospects to make the team. Well, we'll stay with prospects. Who else should we be watching prospect wise? Because they still got a few guys. They did trade a ton of them away with the Quinn Hughes trade. But who else could everyone be watching here?
The Wild's trading last season ticked me off so bad, except for bringing in Quinn Hughes. Giving away Buyam, I'm still ticked about that. Ogren, and to get Quinn here, I get it. But and Buium was a different part of that. But
Yeah.
The prospects. I was looking at names. I would say Lorenz obviously is one to watch. Hunter Haight, clearly, like they pretty much all of their prospects, I would say, like they have quite a few still. I think I saw Kumpalainen was still on there. Outside of their Iowa Wild guys, or their, I would say, I just saw his name pop up, Kivi Arvu.
Yeah. Kivi Arvu, yeah.
I saw him last at the World Juniors. Oh my gosh, he is fun to watch. Him and Atos Koivu, those two are. I wish the Wild had gotten Koivu. Oh, that would have been nice. That Finland team was so much fun to watch during that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, almost all of them, I would say, are, because they're all good players. They're all Spot. I don't know. Is Spacek still considered a prospect?
I think he still would be.
He's kind of on the older side,
fringe,
but
yeah.
And there's also Riley Height. I got those two confused so many times, but yeah, they've got quite a few guys.
Yeah, Riley Height's another guy that I was really surprised where he was drafted. I might have gotten both of them mixed up. I know they were both late round picks.
And their names are so similar. It's like Haight. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think they're pretty close in. Hunter Haight was drafted 47th overall. So yeah, he would have been lower than I thought too. I thought he was closer to a first round pick. And then Riley Height was the one in the third round, which is like, why? But yeah, it's and he should have been a first round pick for sure. So yeah, lots of good prospects the Wild still have, even though they did trade away. And Danilo Yurov, I guess, wouldn't be a prospect anymore.
But he's a fun. I love his play. He's fun. He is. I feel like a lot of people did not give him enough credit this last season because he wasn't being Kirill and scoring all the goals because they expected him to be like Kirill. I'll even admit it. I thought he was going to be a little more like Kirill than he is, but he's actually more of a Eriksson Ek style player. Mm-hmm. He plays a lot of defense, and I love that about him. Like he's I know he's taking a little bit longer than some people want him to transition and adjust and get his game going, but I enjoy watching him. I'm glad they haven't traded him away yet.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, again, they're going to be trading, forget a guy like Dylan Larkin or whatever. These guys are going to be in the conversation of being guys to be traded in that deal. Although it seems like the Red Wings want an established NHL player, which
that's where I was going. I was going to say and this might annoy Detroit fans, but for all you people saying you want Boldy for Larkin, no. Boldy can't leave. No. Everyone, even my boss at work was like, oh, well, that'd be kind of lateral. And I looked at him just deadpan. I'm like, no. Like, don't even talk to me about that. Larkin's a great player in his own right, but Boldy needs to stay here.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. All right. Now there's some teams that are just, this is such an obvious, but who's leading the team in goals and points?
Well, that used to be an automatic Kirill Kaprizov for me, and it still probably is. However, the guy we just talked about, Boldy, is right on his heels, and if there's any injuries this season, could surpass Kirill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely Boldy's
they were like 4 points apart last year. So
yeah, it's probably between those two for one of them, or both. But yeah, we'll see who ends up doing that. All right, last but not least, bold prediction, hot take. I had to finish the show here.
I'm gonna use the one I used in my article that I had last week. And people are going to laugh at this. Kirill Kaprizov plays all 84 games of the season and scores. I think I had him at 60 goals. Originally, I had it at 65, but then I felt like that was borderline unrealistic. So I dropped it because especially after I looked and saw the best scorer in the league by far has hit 64 goals once.
Yeah.
And that surpassed it. I'm like, maybe that's a little too lofty of an expectation. So I lowered it to 60. And Krill, this is bold because Krill's not even hit 50 yet. He's hit 47. But I feel like had he not been injured, he could have hit 50. So
I was gonna say that season that he got injured early on, and he was just on fire at the beginning of the season.
Like it broke you. Like it was just like, no.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he was scoring almost every game.
Oh, he was. He was just a machine.
Season. And then he got hurt for 2 months or something like that. So yeah, I think he's definitely capable if he stays healthy. Putting those numbers up, and that's definitely it is bold because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So yeah,
and they're adding 2 games to the season. I mean, technically taking away 2 preseason, but you know.
Yeah, and I say it's bold, but it's also, I mean, bold is always somewhat realistic.
Yeah, I didn't want to go crazy. Like I wanted to be like reachable.
Yeah, and yeah, he's definitely able to do it. So we'll see. All right, well, we'll see how the Wild do this season and what else happens, because there's a lot of drama around this team. Not bad drama; it's just stuff being talked about.
It's stuff that just needs to be done.
Yeah.
No distractions.
But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season. They'll be a really good team again. But thanks, Mariah, for coming on, talking the Wild as always. And we'll be looking for your stuff throughout the season. You are the only Wild writer once again. Obviously credentialed as well. So we got lots of coverage to look forward to. So check out everythingtalkers.com. We got great articles throughout the site on a lot of preview stuff coming down the pipe. And lots of stuff to come. But until our next preview, we will see you next time.